Aloha and welcome, everybody. Kinda got a little mixed up last week. I got overslept, and then Rune overslept, and now apparently Rune's overslept again. So apparently it's going around.
Rude overslept last time, but he showed up before you did.
Yeah, but he overslept again this time, and he showed up before I did again. And then he went right back to sleep. Well, we
Honestly,
last.
if you take another.
Well, first of all, I gotta introduce you guys. We've got Bifrost, the automaton cleric, who is a real
Hello,
pain in my
folks.
butt. A universal pain in my butt.
Only outside of the game.
And there is Yvette,
The
analytical and analytical
yeah,
investigator.
and
Drama
occasionally
queen.
causing problems on purpose.
And we have Giovanna, who really needs to treat cats better. Really.
Never.
You are so mean to cats.
I throw one cat.
And with that out of the way, first a disclaimer: no cats were harmed in the making of this stream.
I'm not a murderer. I only killed one person.
is Yvette confessing
I
to
mean,
murder?
I
That's
joke
not
about that, but
secret.
I joke about that, but saying that would probably be in character for Yvette.
When we last left our investigators, when Bifrost, Yvette, and Giovanna arrived back at Fox Hollow Ranch after a very disappointing end to the previous case, they arrived to find Violet Icebreaker sitting on the porch waiting for them. And she had a case for them. Just after she dealt with the Goblerans. Violet had come to the investigators in a desperate need for help. Because she feels that she is going to be silenced next. There is a wood in the southern portion of Olympus, known as the Shadowwood, that she swears is haunted and cursed. And she has warned the Olympian government time and again to stop sending expeditions to that wood. And yet they did it again. And just as she predicted, that expedition has gone missing. And now everyone who knew about it are being silenced. And so she came to you. She came to you because she was desperate.
This is true.
You know, I wouldn't come to us if I wasn't desperate.
We're good people when you're desperate, though.
Yeah, I guess you could say
And
that.
when you
Yeah,
traveled,
that's something I might say.
when you traveled to the
Chaotic neutral
Shadowwood,
moment.
and finally got into the Shadowwood after a couple of detours, You found that perhaps she's not as crazy as she sounds. As you were camping out in the middle of the Shadowwood, you heard a voice say, "Get out!" And that is where we are picking up. Bifrost
So
and Giovanna, you are sitting around the fire. Bifrost is probably sitting in the fire.
A little bit in the fire, yeah.
And you hear these words. And as goes the infamous GM sentence, what do you do?
I have heard things like this before. It's not a good idea for us to get out.
Yvette is completely asleep.
Yes,
is there a stick
yes,
nearby?
Yvette is conked out.
Is there a stick somewhere that I can readily pick up that's not on fire?
Make a perception check.
Do I get perception?
Unfortunate.
Our first roll of the day. What could go wrong? Apparently not
Well, that's
much.
nice.
A
That is a
31.
nice roll.
That is a nice roll. Yeah, you find a good sized stick right next to you.
I throw it at Jackie to wake her up.
Make it
I'm
a
not going
ranged
over there
attack
anywhere
check.
near her mouth.
Make a ranged attack check.
Okay,
Oh
where's my range?
She could still miss you.
How do
The best improvised weapon.
Someone tell me how to do that one moment.
One moment while Giovanna learns how to use Fantasy Grounds.
List. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Right. Sure.
She misses.
Bye.
She throws it wildly off to the side, and it lands somewhere off in the woods. You don't know where.
Can I get another stick?
I don't think it's out there. I think it doesn't sound like it's a creature necessarily that you can throw sticks at.
Can I get another stick?
One thing with them talking, can I roll something to see if I wake up just with them talking? I want to do something.
Well.
Make a
She's
flat
looking
check.
for
What? A flat check?
Yeah, flat check. That is just a d20 with no added modifier. Yeah, you wake up a little groggily after you hear the stick crash against a tree somewhere off in the distance.
She wakes up saying, "Oh my god, can you guys shut up? I'm trying to sleep."
Shh. Shh. There's a voice that's talking to us to tell us to get out of the forest. Look around for glowing red eyes.
She kind of rubs her eyes a bit and looks around, very, very tired. I would just like to state that I have dark vision.
Make a perception check.
Glowing red eyes they're those are usually a tip off. We've seen that a few times.
Okay, perception, I assume.
Yes.
All right, let's go. Let's do it, gamers.
Wow.
20.
There you
Our
go.
first 20 of the day.
You see all the glowing red eyes.
Yep.
You look around for very closely for a good moment. What you do see are glowing white eyes looking back at you. Several of them. You see several pairs of these glowing white eyes. And then
she
without breaking eye contact, she keeps kind of staring back and and kind of whispers, "I think there's a bit more than two eyes, guys. We're kind of fucked."
Well, lots of eyes doesn't necessarily mean lots of creatures. It could be just one with many eyes.
It'd be a
I don't know which is better.
Guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look and see if I can also spot many glowing white eyes, or at
Can I
least
pick
what it is that
another
Yvette
stick?
sees.
I have another stick. Am I allowed?
There's a forest
Allowed
not
to
too
do
far
what?
from here.
Can I have a stick? Take a stick.
Yes, you've got another stick. What are you doing with the stick?
This is my stick now.
Please tell me you're not abusing another cat.
No! I'm gonna throw it at the eyes.
Oh,
The moment I notice that
check.
they're trying to throw something, I want to just
Range
try
strike.
to go full on in and intimidate them.
Range strike, Giovanna.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as they prepare to throw the stick,
I've already thrown one stick at them.
One
Because
thing,
the one wildly missed Jackie.
Yeah, as they prepare to throw the stick, I look at them and I guess we're doing this now, and I just give the things a very mean look.
Roll an intimidate check. As Yvette uses mean look. I didn't know we were doing Pokemon.
Does it look like spirits? The thing.
Do I roll anything to contest it?
Make an occultism check, Bifrost.
Will do.
Yvette, the eyes seem unwavered.
She keeps looking
You're
and
not
says,
too sure,
"Blinking
Bifrost.
contest. The blinking contest is on, motherfuckers. The staring contest. I mean, fuck."
I'm throwing the stick at them.
Roll your ranged strike.
I can't hit anything.
I try to grab the stick in the air.
Yvette, if you're going to do that, make a reflex save.
Okay. 1 second.
She grabs the stick out of the air.
Okay, I grab it and say, "Can you not?" Without breaking eye contact, by the way, with the things.
So what exactly are we seeing beyond white eyes? And I assume with the 29 perception that I can see these things too.
Yes, you do see these things. You don't really see much beyond the white eyes. They're just staring back at you.
Can I try to identify what they are with an occultism or something? Oh, sorry. We were saying? I'm sorry for interrupting.
They're unwavered by Yvette's intimidation.
Yeah, she kind of growls at them a bit, and that's about it.
I don't have any of my weapons in my hands. I do have my shield, which I'll carry with me, but I'm going to leave the other 3 hands open.
And I'm going to roll 2 dice for no reason.
I'm going to walk slowly towards them to see if I can make some kind of more peaceable contact.
Okay.
Meanwhile, I want to follow. I want to follow behind, trying to if they start seeming aggressive, I can try to calm them down.
Okay. So Yvette, as you follow behind Bifrost, you realize just how far up off the ground these things are. They're almost triple your height off the ground.
I mean, anything's triple my height.
Triple Yvette's height or triple my height? I'm 5 feet tall.
Triple Yvette's height. So it feels like they're towering over you, Yvette. More so than Bifrost or Giovanna are.
Yeah, Yvette, like, she's a bit shook, but she still walks pretty steady, like, kind of time to bite some ankles kind of look,
Yeah,
Can I
make a
try
will save for
telepathy?
stress. We need to see how much the stress is affecting you.
So, you need us to roll will?
No, Yvette does.
Okay.
I need to roll what?
Will.
Oh. Oh, sick.
She's got 1 stress.
Can I try telepathy at it?
Is that a power that you have, Giovanna?
I have telepathy. You can telepathically speak to any one creature you can see within 30 feet of you in this manner. You don't need to share a language.
Okay, so...
But it must understand at least one language.
So you use telepathy to try to speak to whatever these things are. What are you saying?
I'm saying, who are you? Do you mean us harm?
You don't receive an answer.
Dang.
They just continue staring more keenly at Bifrost and Yvette now as they continue to approach.
Oh, they're approaching?
I'm approaching.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bifrost and Yvette are approaching these things.
And I've got 3 hands open, which hopefully is a polite gesture to them. And I'm not saying anything yet. I'll wait till I get somewhat close, and then if they don't react at all, I will speak. But I'm waiting to see if they try another overture, if this is the speaking voice that I heard.
Yeah. Also, Yvette is like taking cover behind Bifrost.
It's a good call.
Okay, Bifrost, based on how tall you are compared to Yvette, you can't as full cover.
That's fine.
I'm still standing very in the same place next to the fire. I have not attempted to follow them.
Philosophically, I'm
Probably
very
a good
comfortable
idea.
with being full cover. Especially if I need to use my shield.
And I am very comfortable with being fully covered.
Can I... Do I have to... I have a cantrip. Illusion that I'd like to try and...
What cantrip is this? What psi cantrip is this? For those at home,
Deluge.
Giovanna is a scion. An automaton scion. It is a homebrew class in our campaign.
Oh.
That's still being worked on very diligently by the Sleeping Beauty herself, Rune.
It said it takes 2 actions. I didn't know if I needed to start preparing it now and just have that in my back pocket.
Oh, in Pathfinder you have 3 actions per turn, so.
Oh, cool. Well then,
so it's
I don't need to do that then. I'm just gonna.
Yeah. Each action is around 4 seconds, I'd say, 2 seconds. I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a baby player. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I have to learn somehow.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute.
Maybe she'll be more experienced by next season.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But Yvette is still kind of curiously looking at them. Is there any like figure attached to those eyes at all?
Make a perception check.
All right. Oh, that's occultism. That's not perception. I see. I see.
You see the eyes, and you just get mesmerized with these eyes. You are staring right into these eyes.
Yeah, I sure am.
You might want to just stay back there, at least until we figure out what's going on. Because it looks like it's really trying to prey on you, and that's not so good.
Oh yeah, it definitely isn't.
And in fact, Yvette, make a will save.
No.
Oh, that's just great. Oh, cool.
Yvette is stupefied 1.
I am going to see this happening, and I'm gonna.
One?
Stupefied 1.
Oh.
I'm gonna see this happening, and I'm gonna run up and put my be next to Yvette, or in front of her slightly, because she stepped back, didn't she?
She was behind Bifrost.
I'm gonna stand next to Bifrost.
Now's a good time. Now's a good time to have intelligence 19. That odd number kind of saved me.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So, I've continued to close, and it's not reacting to me, but it is seeming interested in Yvette, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. It may. I don't know anything about it yet, but it may be that
there's
it's
several pairs
tuned
of
to.
these eyes. There's several pairs of these eyes.
Okay, so they are paired. They're not just like a large cluster.
Can I try to
They're all over.
remember if I've read or researched about any of these about any creature that's like this and has an effect
Make an occultism
like this over
check.
people? With pleasure. Oh, fuck me.
You don't know anything.
Rip Jackie. Rip Yvette.
You're a little just preoccupied with these eyes to try to think back to those studies.
Yeah, she's like, what the fuck are those things? Oh, shit.
If Bifrost is moving up, am I big enough to be cover for Yvette?
Yvette is following closely behind Bifrost.
I thought Jackie stopped following because they were like being weird.
Is Yvette still following Bifrost?
Yep, definitely.
Oh, because I was gonna be like, Bifrost can keep going forward, and you can just stand behind me.
Yep.
Me and you'll swing back, because I don't think it's a good idea for Yvette to get closer to these things.
I'm probably the slowest being
that.
here, so that's definitely
you can
not
go
a
ahead
bad
and
idea.
Say that in character.
Yeah, I would like to say that Jackie, you should stand behind me, and we'll let Bifrost go ahead because you seem to be getting hurt by these things.
Yeah, Bifrost, make a perception check.
Will do.
Yvette looks back at you and says,
23.
I'll be fine.
So, Bifrost, you do get the sense that they're keenly focused on Yvette. They see you approaching, but they're keenly focused on Yvette.
They don't seem threatened. They're not reacting to me more than just a couple of pairs every once in a while look at me.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what?
Okay. So...
Yvette looks back at Bifrost, Sergeant Trophy, by the way. She says, alright, if they start leaping, then you hold them still. I'm gonna make a break for it. 1, 2, 3, go. And she starts, like, running back towards the campfire. She just makes a fucking sprint after after she thinks about the fact that she doesn't like being stared at that much.
Oh yeah, they are definitely staring at her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she just like sprints the fuck back. And I want to actually grab my short sword, the magical one I have.
Okay.
And I just keep it on hand just in case.
So Bifrost, what do you do as you approach these things?
So
whatever they are.
I'm going to bring some light to the situation. So I'm already holding my shield. It'll be the focus, and I'm going to cast light on it as the cantrip, just to illuminate the area a little more. I've got dark vision, so that's fine, but I want to see if they react to that.
Also, do the eyes keep staring at me even when I'm not the person nearest to them?
Yes.
By far?
Yes.
Yeah.
With Bifrost 23 perception, he definitely notices as you run back. He notices the eyes just continue to follow you.
You're alive, or at least you're meat, biological, whereas we're not, and so we're not necessarily prey.
I want to try and
shit.
cast false object.
First of all, how dare you make sense?
You are a very nice being, and some other beings think that nice beings are worth consuming, and unfortunately, that's not good for you.
All right, let's test that theory. She flips off the fucking the eyes. Well, doesn't seem like they doesn't seem like they only go after nice beings, I guess.
So, no reaction to the light?
As you bring up your shield and seemingly prepare yourself for battle, the eyes continue to be trained on Yvette. They see you raising your shield and everything, but they don't really seem to care.
Which is fine.
Yvette, she thinks for a moment and is like, all right, you guys want to make them pay attention to you guys? Because we can try that strategy if you guys are up to put up a fight.
I don't know that we need to fight.
Does an organic being count as an object?
Not enough to put them in the bag.
No, because I have a cantrip, false object, so I wanted to see if I could create, like, just an organic being.
I don't know that it would come out alive.
Well, no, it doesn't, like...
Oh, that's not the point.
It's an illusion.
You get meat.
Alright, Yvette looks at both of you and says, well, if they're only gonna want me, why don't you guys attack them while I just run in circles, I guess? Not like they're gonna attack back.
If we make it hostile, then they'll be hostile. They're not being hostile, they're being interested.
They look hostile to me, alright?
You're not wrong. They look hostile towards you, but they're looking hostile, not being hostile.
Listen, when you're 3 foot tall, a lot of things seem more hostile than they normally are.
Cast false object and just make, like, a generic human that's not doing no movement, just a generic human illusion.
Okay. What does that power pertail?
You create an illusionary illusion. I think there's an N missing. Okay. Visual image of a stationary object. The entire image must fit within the swell's area, which is a 20-foot burst. The object appears to animate naturally, but it doesn't make sounds or generate smells.
Okay. So,
meanwhile,
you create this illusionary visual illusion of a human. What sort of human?
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe it?
It just looks like a human. It's not like... It's like blinking and like looks like it's breathing, but it's not like...
Yeah, it's
making
like
any noise. It's
Is
just
it
like
looking
there.
like anyone in particular?
I guess. Oh.
I'm gonna have it look like what's her face? Violet Frost.
Violet
What's her name?
Icebreaker.
Yeah.
Also, I imagine it's doing like a store dummy pose or something.
Yeah, I want it to look like Violet because that's the only person I can think of.
Okay,
Also,
so
meanwhile,
this illusion looks like Violet, and as soon as you use this power and create this illusion of Violet standing there, the eyes now seem keenly aware of you, Giovanna.
Oh.
They're not so focused on the illusion you just created, nor are they focused much on Yvette anymore. Now they're focused on you.
Yvette like kind of looks and says like completely non-sarcastic. Oh, nice, good job.
Thank you so much.
Completely non-sarcastically.
You know what? It's information we didn't have 10 seconds ago.
Yeah.
Wait. Bifrost. She kind of like calls you a bit and says, "Do you have any rations in you? Maybe you could just offer one of them."
I have some options. I'm weighing them. Food is definitely an option if all they're interested in is sustenance. But we heard speaking as well, and I don't know if it's them or if it was a separate force that was dealing with them. So I'm going to make an overture in common because we heard the voice speaking in common. I'm gonna speak to them and say, we wish to negotiate passage. Let's see if we can get some of these glowing white-eyed creatures to respond.
You don't hear a response.
Okay, so they're not necessarily sentient. They're probably not the creature that addressed us.
The rations.
These are not the creatures you're looking for.
Yeah. I have two different sets of spells that I can draw from. So some of the things you're trying to do, I have a better spell for. So if you want to do something, I might have something more specific.
He has actual spells, whereas you have psi powers.
Like I can actually make the illusion you're trying to make and make it with a little more persuasion, and I might be able to do a couple.
I wanted to see mainly if they even would I kind of want to see if they'd react to an illusion that's more illusionary, But right now they're only focused on me after I cast that.
Yeah.
So
Bifrost, you could tell that they're basically seeing right through the illusion.
Yeah.
They've seen through the illusion, but they noticed me. They took their focus off of that, which I'm like, she tried to intimidate them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Is that when they started?
No, they seemed pretty keenly focused on Yvette the entire time.
Aw.
I don't think they're going to attack unless they feel they have an opportunity.
Now they've shifted focus to you after you used a psi power.
Yep. They weren't worried when I put light on my shield, so they're not triggered by divine magic. And they didn't care about me raising my shield either. And the light on the shield didn't reveal anything. It's just basically eyes we're seeing, right?
Yeah.
Yvette looks over at them and says, I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think they're making a move. How long are we going to be in this staring contest?
Well, you need rest, right? You were hoping to rest, or are you all set?
They're going to be in the steering contest as long as they want to be in the steering contest. As long as they continue staring back.
Me and Bifrost can continue this staring contest indefinitely.
That's true, but I don't like to attack in my sleep.
Yeah,
also, I don't think I... Also, how easy do you think it would be for me to sleep right now? You know.
Knowing Jackie?
Oh, there's just some big fuck off ghosts over there staring at me. I'm just gonna go take a nap. No, I'm not
They're
gonna do
not
that.
staring at you anymore. They're staring at me.
I have not had the chance to study many people and how they fall asleep.
Oh yeah, right. Right.
Yeah.
Oh great! Now
You'll
Bifrost
remember
is going to turn into
Bifrost
a
sleep
psychological
is.
experiment.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's a choice. Is it a choice you can just choose, or I've seen people do it when they don't want to.
Well, here's the
Apparently,
thing.
Bifrost is going to turn into a.
Why are we discussing this? We'll talk about it later.
Of course he is.
We have a bit more important matters at hand, but you just can't go too long without it, basically.
Can I go back to the fire and I want to pick up a flaming stick, and I don't want to like throw it at them or anything, but I just want to walk towards them with the stick that is on fire.
I'm gonna before she gets too close.
Like a torch.
Before she gets too close with her torch, how far would I guess I am from one of these creatures?
Make a perception check.
We'll do.
Only one worse than the last one.
Yep.
With a 22, you're guesstimating here. You'd think there may be... You think there may be 40, 50 feet away. You're guesstimating.
I'd like to move within 30 feet if I can.
Okay.
And if they back off, that's information too. But I'm going to try to move within 30 feet. And then if I can at least spot one set of eyes that I believe are the same creature, I'm just going to move forward and cast Charm.
I am still walking towards them with the fire. With the torch. Like, I'm not doing it in a threatening manner. I'm just walking.
Giovanna is walking
like very
towards
much
them
behind everyone else
with a torch. And the eyes are all focused on Giovanna. They don't care about Bifrost. They're all focused on Giovanna.
How far away am I from them right now?
You're about just behind Bifrost, about 35 feet.
Alright. Bifrost, you're casting Charm?
Yep, I raise my hand and I speak a few words, and then let's see what happens. I'm casting Charm on one of these creatures.
One thing.
What does Charm do?
How can I see them?
What did you ask?
Because I wanted to ask if I could.
As long as we're not threatening them, they don't get a benefit to the resist.
Yeah, because I wanted to know if I can already just kind of devise a strategy. If I can already devise a strategy, just in case.
So, it should be a will saving throw.
To the target, your words are honey and your visage seems bathed in a dreamy haze. It must attempt a will save with a +4 circumstance bonus if you or your allies recently threatened it, or used hostile actions against it.
I think that might be the intimidation that Yvette did.
Or the stick you threw.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
do they count hostile action or not? We'll find out.
Okay, can I like oh god, I see that. I saw that. Anyway. Can I like kind of take some peeks at them and devise a strategy. Or devise a stratagem or whatever.
Bifrost, what is your spell DC?
So spell DC for me is give me a second. It's based on will.
Oh wait, no.
Spell DC. Hello. And a regular level 1 spell. Why is it saying no? That's not true. It's not a spell DC of 21. Is it a spell DC of 21?
Possibly.
Spell roll is plus 11, so yeah, 21. Got some good spells.
It doesn't seem to be affected.
Okay.
I
Which is too bad. If I fail, it just takes it as random unless it's a critical failure, at which point then it knows what I cast and it might get hostile. Does it seem to react to me at all?
So, success. The target got a success, so the target is unaffected but thinks your spell was something harmless instead of charm unless it identifies the spell.
Right.
So, they were unaffected, but they think your spell was harmless.
Cool. So they're not paying any more attention to me than they were before.
No, their eyes are still focused on Giovanna.
Folks, I don't think we need to fight them.
Yeah,
I think they'll probably follow us, and it wouldn't be surprising.
I wanted to see if I can pursue a lead. Actually, is the right word. Because pursue a lead. Oh, actually, I have to spend 10 minutes. Fuck, never mind.
Yeah, I don't think we have to fight them. I think they're like staring at. I think they're staring at us because like they're only paying attention to me and Jackie.
Yep.
Oh, right now, only you, Giovanna. Only you.
We're hostile to them.
It could be.
Can I try to like? Okay, I like as I'm approaching, I walk slowly and say, "Easy there, easy," to try and like calm them down and kind of.
Okay, you know. Try a diplomacy check.
All right. Okay.
Do you want to hero point that?
No. Here's the thing. I have assurance. That's a 10. I have never been so glad to grab a feat before in my life. Thank God I grabbed assurance.
So that counts 21 as 10, instead of 11.
Total. It's a 20 total.
A 20 total.
Yeah. Because it counts as a roll of 10. Thank God I have that.
You also have a hero point, too. Never forget your hero point as well.
Yeah.
So, you try to talk to them in your honey words. They are not paying attention to you.
Actually,
the eyes are focused on Giovanna.
I'm gonna couple this with...
It's almost like you don't exist.
I'm gonna couple this with no cause for alarm. Which, I mean, it's technically not its actual use, but it's used for flavor, you know? And be like, all right there, easy there. I'm not here to kill you yet. I'm just here to... What am I here for again? Investigate.
They're not paying any attention.
Don't bite me.
Giovanna wants to take a step, so she's just barely in front of Bifrost.
They're focused entirely on you, Giovanna.
I think.
Can I like see anything about them? Like, has anything become clearer now that we're closer?
No.
Okay.
Oh my God.
You don't see anything. All you see are these eyes.
I think it
staring
might just
at
be
you.
a good idea to move on then and continue on our path.
Oh
Because
yeah,
I
like
don't think they're going to attack us.
Yeah, like I'm turning my back to those fuckers.
Well, you can travel in front with Giovanna, and I'll remain between you and them.
But it's still the middle of the night.
Okay, you guys.
It is still the middle of the night, and I don't want to move in the Shadowwood in the middle of the night where there's obviously some like dangerous stuff in here. Because if these are rather seem to be non-hostile towards us, I don't want to walk into something that is hostile in the middle of the night.
Well, we could, if you want to take an interesting risk, we could try going underneath the tree or trees that they happen to be in. Perhaps
that's what Giovanna was about to do, to see what happened, because they're completely focused on me.
Perhaps they will protect you.
I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna do that. That's what Giovanna's doing.
Yeah, that absolutely like tries to not get too close.
I'm gonna move so that if they do try to descend, that I can be there to defend.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna walk on.
Hey, were
I'm
you
gonna
trying
walk.
to rhyme?
I'm gonna do it.
Bifrost, you get a hero point for rhyming.
Thank you.
Apparently, Bifrost is rapping now.
It's that time of night.
At least it's not heavy metal.
Oh my god. Okay, do I have to roll anything while I'm like doing?
Doing what exactly?
I'm doing a process. I'm walking like they're in the trees, right? Or are they?
They're somewhere in the trees. You don't know where.
I'm walking under the tree.
Under the tree.
Under the tree.
So, why exactly are you doing this?
I just have questions and I want to know. I want to know. I just want to know what they're gonna do. Honestly, curiosity killed the Neko, you know.
My poor Nekos.
I don't have any on me currently.
Your Neko is fine, Bifrost. You saved it.
Yes.
You saved
But
it from Giovanna.
Yeah, we're not going to throw it again.
No, and I definitely don't have one on me, so I am going to walk under the trees where they are.
By the way, I'm gonna
Once again, no cats were harmed in the making of the stream.
I'm gonna have to be typing for a bit to be on text. So.
Okay.
So Bifrost, what are you doing exactly?
I'm staying somewhat adjacent to Giovanna, so that way she's not all by herself in danger. It's a trick because if these creatures are hostile, they're probably just waiting for us to be isolated for a little while. And if they're not, then this is all us worrying about nothing in the middle of the night. I'm not convinced based on their behavior that they're hostile. I think they're concerned, interested, and or worried. And they don't seem to find me threatening. And
I think there's something, but I'm curious to see like I'm just curious.
Yeah,
well,
if we get
Giovanna,
up next to the tree, I have an idea.
You know what they say, Giovanna? Curiosity killed the cat.
I know that. I'm aware. God, I don't want to have to make a new character. I'm gonna be so depressed.
That is indeed true, Yvette. Very indeed true.
I don't know. Maybe because
while I'm walking under this tree. I'm still holding the torch, also.
I don't know. Maybe we're dealing with some kind of forest fae or something.
Well, the eyes are still focused entirely on Giovanna. They don't. They're. It's almost like they're. It's almost like you don't exist to them, Bifrost, or Yvette.
Yeah, it's fascinating that she does. And honestly, that makes me feel like 10 times more comfortable, because if I don't exist to them, then I'm essentially pretty much safe in their presence.
Yvette says, "How many effing eyes do Faye have?" Good question.
Depends.
Okay, I'm not. I almost said I'm putting down my torch, and then I was like, "Wait a minute, that's a bad idea in a forest."
Keep your torch with you.
I'm gonna put my torch in one of Bifrost's hands.
Okay, I have extra
Rune
hands.
Is,
I can do that.
Rune's conked out too, and
climb this tree?
As you look over to Rune, knowing that Rune is a Fae, she's a Frost Elven, you see that she has 2 eyes.
Yep.
Rune has 2 eyes. Okay, so that's nice to know. We are aware that they only have 2 eyes. I would like to climb the tree.
Like, that's never gone well. So, Giovanna, is it acrobatics or is it athletics?
Acrobatics?
It's theoretically either. Athletics is probably a little more direct.
Athletics. Make an athletics
check. Dang it! Why would you say that?
I'm the person with flight here, so I'm now thinking, okay, is this my one time a day? I'm going to use my flight.
So, Giovanna, you start climbing up the tree.
First time this has gone well for me.
As Giovanna is climbing up the tree, I will use a 1st level spell, and I'll cast Sanctuary on her.
Thank you, Bifrost. Giovanna becomes just the tiniest bit less witch wary of Bifrost.
Yes, I just cast the spell on you. It is a divine spell, and it protects you from attacks potentially.
And
the eyes Yvette's faith in me.
Focused on Giovanna as she goes up the tree.
And there you go.
Can I see what they are now that I'm in the tree?
No. They don't seem to have a shape.
They're just disembodied eyes, and they're checking you out.
Yeah, is it creepy?
Are they like making any movement towards me, or are they just still looking at me?
They're just looking at you.
I'm just hanging out in the tree with these guys.
Do you have food? I don't have any food.
I don't have any food. I haven't filled my chest with spaghetti yet.
This is the thing I'm thinking. I'm thinking that next time we go back, I'll have to ask Bob to make food that can travel. They do that, right? Not walking food, I mean. That would be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird. That would definitely be weird.
Is that why Bob talked about the Bytor that way? Their food on the hoof? I don't think we can bring a Bytor every time we travel. That's not good.
You can ask him if you see him again.
Yeah, well, I'm guessing that he's decided to just stay around and cook and teach the Sabretooth, so that's probably his full role for the house now.
He's kind of left the house.
Is it official?
One day.
Yeah, he's left the house.
Oh, I am sad. So, yes, now it's up to the poor organics that live in the house too.
Bob brought a lot of joy to the house. Whenever you heard him screaming at the goblins for some reason, it brought joy to your heart.
Oh yes, I love our goblins. Okay, so I don't think they're being dangerous right now. And I'm going to look to Yvette and say, do you feel like you can go back and sleep at the camp now, or?
I'm gonna look at Yvette and be like, I mean, I'm gonna be up here, like, with them. Like, I'm just gonna stay here for the rest of the night because I finally climbed a tree. I'm so proud of myself. I mean, if they're gonna attack anything, they're gonna attack me first.
Hey, look! Giovanna can climb a tree.
I can climb a tree!
Yeah, it's a strong tree. It's a good tree.
It's a good tree. So I will be just staying here for the rest of the night if you choose to go back to sleep.
Now I'm going to have to park myself between the sleeping people and Giovanna.
Giovanna, I don't want to make you feel bad about yourself, but you can fly.
I can fly?
You have the floater feet.
No, I don't! Yes, I do!
The only thing, yeah,
Giovanna,
it's once for 10 minutes.
You get to hear a point because you climbed a tree, even though you didn't have to.
I'm gonna hear a point!
She doesn't have wings, though. She can just float without that.
Yeah.
Just float. I'm gonna hear a point for climbing a tree.
So I'm gonna move a little ways away, not so far that I couldn't get there quickly, and I'll keep an eye on Rune and Yvette and on Giovanna, and let's see if we can't get some rest. Maybe they're just as afraid of us as we clearly were of them.
I'm gonna just sit at the night and just talk to them and be like, yo guys, what's up? How's it going? Like, you're not gonna answer me, but how's it hanging?
You could tell them stories.
I'm gonna tell them stories. I'm gonna tell them like
okay.
mom, like the bedtime stories. That's what I'm gonna think of.
If you're going to do that, Giovanna, make a performance check.
Performance check?
I'm going to make sure we use every seal on the sheet.
My bedtime stories do not go over well.
Yeah, they're not going over very well. They just keep staring.
Can I tell them a ghost story?
And make another performance check.
You have some legitimate ghost stories. You also have monster stories too.
Seems to go a little bit better.
Yeah, you can tell them about the monster we saw in the museum.
Totally focused on you.
Yep, there was a monster in the museum, and there was a really horrible person who was a cultist. And yeah, it was exciting.
Yvette's going to tell the story now.
If I tell the story, it's the same level as my horror story.
Yeah, Yvette, I'm sorry to tell you, the eyes are still focused on Giovanna.
Get some rest. I think we're okay. It's just a nature of this forest that some creatures watch from safety.
These guys have awful taste.
I really just... I really said everything that I'm untrained or unskilled in, I'm using tonight.
Oh, I'm going to make sure of it.
After about a minute, the sanctuary spell goes away, but that's well after well after the first story is underway.
I'm like, well, at this point, I can float, so I'll figure it out.
I will say that the sanctuary spell worked very well when we were being fought earlier, so it's a useful thing if we ever need it again.
Yeah. It was nice to know that if I fell out of this tree while trying to climb it, I was gonna be okay.
Yep.
God.
Okay, so I'm standing equidistant between the two sleeping beings and between
just to
Giovanna.
explain how that feat works. Once per day, you are able to rise up to 10 feet above the ground for up to 10 minutes. And while levitating, you use your ground speed when you stride.
And yours has got to be 25, right?
Yeah, mine's 25.
Yep. And Yvette, I think, is 25 or 30, right?
Yvette,
I don't think I could say that
Yvette is
any better.
speaking in a language you don't understand.
It's kind of sad. I really should know more languages. It's sort of a thing I should do. There's something wrong with not knowing many languages. I assume Yvette is faster than me. You've got to be more than 20 feet.
Mine's 25 feet.
She's using Draconic or Dragland to speak to me.
That's how magic works. They're very fixated on Draconic speech.
But what's your
now?
speed? Yeah, I think I have something else that assists my speed, but I have to look.
Yeah, you all are faster than me. I'm the thing that slows us down.
Yeah, just a little bit.
So true, she says. So true. All right. So we're gonna make our way through the night then. As long as these things don't attack, then they're not harmful. He said.
Yeah.
Not really believing it.
That's what she said.
I mean, Giovanna feels safe and comfortable enough to just hang out in a tree with them all night.
You know what they say, when fleeing you don't have to be the fastest, you just have to not be the slowest. So true.
Yeah, right now I am the closest we have to a meat shield, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Me and Yvette just like, we're fastest boy. You know that name?
Up until we run across like the average Fae or human.
Yvette, do you go to sleep now? Yes, Yvette goes to sleep. But like, can you really sleep in a haunted forest? Or a haunted swamp?
You know, we all live in the same world, right? With the
We live in a
ghosts even.
society.
Very true. And so somewhere, wherever it's haunted, that's also the place where we are also present. So
you
really,
live in a society, you live in a society.
I look at the beings I'm in the tree with, and I'm like, guys, we live in a society. And then I start being philosophical.
Okay. So Giovanna is now being philosophical. What can I make Giovanna roll now? Giovanna, roll a religion check. Apparently, Giovanna knows a lot of philosophies. A lot of them are Olympian.
While I'm keeping an eye on both groups, I'll take out my notebook and make some notes. I'm just writing some thoughts down.
Because that's what strikes you as kind of strange and kind of ironic, because you just visited a destroyed monk order ruins up in the mountains. A lot of those philosophies that she's speaking of right now came from there.
Hey.
The place with the dried up hands.
Yeah, where I pull out my hand, I'm like, I started talking about it.
Sometimes we all need a hand.
Very true.
And wouldn't it be wonderful if even after we're gone, we could be a hand for others?
I mean, yeah. I mean, what the worst that'll happen is we'll rust.
Yvette gets up. Oh no, what is she doing? Okay, that was effing awful. And then goes back to...
He wakes up just to roast us. That's absolutely classic Yvette.
Yvette does not sleep fitfully. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. All right.
So I spend the night in the tree talking philosophy.
Yep. I'll be making multiple notes down. This is stuff that Niven and I will talk about later.
Or you will talk to Niven about, and he will probably listen. He doesn't always speak.
No, I don't imagine. I imagine sometimes he's just being tolerant of the fact that my observations are things that are pretty obvious.
I'm talking.
Yeah, nothing
I talking philosophy. I didn't expect this to turn this way.
He also might be a little irritated with the God's rule of non-interference.
Oh yeah, no question about that. But you see, then there's the fact that he can't just come out and tell me all the things, which is almost like being anathema to him because he wants to tell all the things.
Yeah, instead he has to give you a series of cryptic numbers.
Which is okay. That's
92442. It took you a little while to figure that out. It took you a little while to figure it out.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at the calendar.
That it was a date. The 24th of Ranu of 2042. 2742.
Yep.
This year is 2742.
A calendar in her life.
Yeah, we have a calendar. I can show you where it is.
Oh no, I know where it is. I've seen it. I got very confused immediately and decided, you know what, my character doesn't know what a calendar year is.
Yeah.
I made that decision for myself.
Well, that was the last convergence, is that correct?
So, the 24th of Ranu of 2742, according to what you've found, now that you've found this article in this newspaper that says that an astronomer has discovered that a planetary alignment is coming upon that very date, you went back through the histories and the mythologies, and you found that this planetary alignment has happened a number of times in the past, and it is referred to in various languages that translate to the convergence.
Ivana's still in the tree.
Yeah, and as is always predictable, when you have a fancy name for something like that, it always ends well.
I can see nothing but positive things coming from this.
And as Bifrost, as you speak of the convergence, you notice the eyes that have been trained on Giovanna this entire time, they now turn to you.
Oh! Bifrost, get up in the tree, buddy.
No, it's okay. I'm here and they're watching me, which means they do understand certain things.
And after about 5 minutes, suddenly these tentacles of shadow lash out from the tree line directly at you, Bifrost. Make a reflex save.
I'm gonna use one of my hero points.
That would be a good idea.
It may not be a success, but it's a lot closer.
Bifrost, you get grabbed in these tentacles of shadow. And you take 11 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god.
Yvette, make a perception check.
Yeah, I don't make pain noises. So, you know, it would just...
Yeah, no, we're not making any noises. And, like, Jackie or not, Yvette, sorry. I keep looking at the Discord names.
Yeah, Yvette, you notice these tentacles come out at Bifrost and grab him, and they are dragging him into the tree line.
Are they dragging me towards the eyes or away from them?
Towards them.
Okay. And they weren't at all deterred by the light that I have on me?
No.
Okay. I don't see the mass that it comes from, is that correct?
Hmm?
There's not a physical mass that comes from, correct?
Not that you can see.
Okay. So.
And Giovanna, what do? You're up in the tree.
I'm up in the tree. And do I think it's the eyes that are doing this?
Make a.
Did you say they were going in the same direction?
Yeah, they're dragging him towards the eyes.
Can I try to bite this?
You can try. You could certainly try. Make a strike. Legitimately not kidding.
I would like to yell at Bifrost real quick and say, because Bifrost never said he'd put down my torch. I'd like to scream, throw the fire at them.
So, not hearing that per se, Bifrost actually stashes things and begins to work a spell. It's going to take 2 turns for me to complete it, technically. 2 actions from this turn and 2 from the next.
1 second. Let me.
It's a holy incantation. My guess is I'm going to continue to get pulled in.
Yes, you are. In fact, everyone make it a roll initiative.
Oh God.
Those infamous words from a GM that you never want to hear.
Nice.
I'm going to zero that out because the rune's still conked out. Apparently this commotion still hasn't managed to wake her up.
Deep sleeper, that one.
She does sleep deeply, especially if she was sampling anything.
I'm making one desperate attempt to get him to wake the F up. Nope. Doesn't seem to have
No.
gotten a response. Not yet. So, Giovanna, what are you doing as your friend and mentor is being dragged into the tree line? What are you doing?
Oh God. I'm in a tree. One second, let me see. How high up in the tree am I? Like, how high is this tree?
It's about 20 feet.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna use Disruptive Blast at the tentacles.
Okay. What does that do?
This attacks the target's mind, affecting the creature for 2d6 hours, disrupting the victim's neuropaths. If the creature fails the save, they use the use of a power or spell for the duration of this attack. Also inflict 2d4 psychic damage.
Okay. Do you have to
And
roll
then there's like
anything?
stuff about the successes and stuff. It's a will saving throw.
Okay. It doesn't seem to have an effect.
Wait, did it succeed or did it?
It succeeded.
Okay, so successful. Was it a successful?
It was
Save
successful.
will only take half the psychic damage and 1d6 hours.
Okay, roll 2d4. You can pick up the d4 and right click it to create another d4. That was a d6.
Oh, well, I also have to do a d6 for how many hours?
Oh. I found a cat.
So,
I found a Neko.
Another one. Now they're randomly coming out. That's not expected.
Yeah, this one's Tiger Stripe.
Oh,
So it takes 1 damage.
no, it just takes. I was just rolling 1d4. Just it takes the 2 damage.
No, you rolled 2d4.
Because if it had succeeded, I would have had to roll 2d4.
Oh, so it's 1d4 if it succeeded.
Yeah, if it saves, then it just takes like 1d4 of damage instead of 2.
Okay.
I mean, I can still roll 2d4s and see if like the half is better. So I'll just actually do that.
It's still 2.
It's the same, so it's taking 2 damage.
So,
And then I guess I'll do the same with the d6 real quick to see if that changes the hours. Nope.
So it takes 2.
Yeah, so 2 and 2.
Okay. We're going to pass the puck to Bifrost. You are being dragged. What do you do?
So, when I said that I was starting a spell, did I get that before we started the initiative round, or am I starting it now?
You're starting it now.
Okay. So, I'm being dragged in. Resisting this is an action. Is that correct?
Yes. Because
So
you're grabbed.
I'll try using one action to try to resist, and I'm going to use the other 2 to start the spell that I'm working on.
Okay. You can make an acrobatics check to try to wriggle your way free. You can make an athletics check to try to break free. What do you do?
All right, athletics is definitely my better option.
You are still grabbed.
Okay, I'm going to just shout to Giovanna as I start this that she needs to make sure that she's not directly over where these tentacles are pulling me. And then I'm going to start to work a spell. And as I'm doing that, as I'm working with 2 of my arms to get that done, radiant light starts to gather. And just to give you the spell so you can take a peek at it in preparation, I am working on an inner radiance torrent. So it'll be a little bit like a kata until I can put the 2 hands together, and then there will be an attack. And you may want to see the whole spell. It is one of the new ones.
Ah, one of the secrets of magic spells.
Yep. And I'm working.
So you gradually manifest your spiritual energy into your cupped hands before firing off a storm of bolts and beams that deal 44 force damage to all creatures in a 60-foot line. Creatures in the area must attempt a basic reflex save. On a critical failure, they are also blinded for 1 round. The number of actions you spend when casting the spell determines the area. If the line passes through an area of magical darkness or targets a creature affected by magical darkness, the spell attempts to counteract the darkness.
So, and I'm giving the extra space so Giovanna can move out of the way if she happens to be in the line with where these tentacles are pulling me. So I'm sacrificing a turn so that I can so she has room to move out of the way and that I can, really try and make this thing strong.
Okay.
I probably don't need 120 feet, but the 2-round version is definitely going to be the trick.
Alrighty. So we're going to pass to Yvette. He is casting Inner Radiance Torrent.
I mean, I could cast the fast one now, but I don't know. I think Giovanna's in that line. Am I correct?
Yes.
I mean, I'm in a tree.
You're still. They're pulling me underneath that tree, so it might be a good idea to move out of the way.
Okay, I didn't know if they had pulled you under the tree yet.
Not to be that person, but it's
So
actually
can
sort of an
Yvette
interesting idea.
go and to try to bite the tentacle and move out? Sure. I'll allow it. She wants to try to get a little snack in. Oh, it's a crit.
There are a lot of people who like calamari. I wouldn't be critical.
So Yvette is getting a snack of shadow calamari. And it looks like she's going to get a big chunk of it. So you roll a crit, you roll your damage. That's 2d6, and then you double it.
So it's like maximum damage for normal.
$12. She gets a good chunk of whatever this is, and Yvette, you almost have to gag because it doesn't taste very good, and you are now nauseous. You are sickened. Yes, literally sick. Okay. Not exactly, not necessarily.
You probably bit the part that's around me.
Because if
I'm
not, I
certainly
could have
grateful.
used an action to devise a stratagem instead of going away. Yeah, you could have, but it's already done. Yep. So now you pull back. Okay. Giovanna, go for it.
Okay. Is there another tree that like nearby my tree?
Is there
Like I'm in a
another
forest.
tree nearby your tree? About
Yeah.
5 feet away. 10, actually more like 10, 15 feet. Yeah, 15 feet.
Can I try and jump from my tree to another tree? Am I allowed to do that?
Sure. Make an acrobatics check.
Not as a 24.
That is a 24. You don't quite make it over. Make a reflex save. As you grab onto the trunk of the other tree and start sliding down like a pole.
25.
25. Yeah, you grab onto the trunk of that other tree and start sliding down and manage to break your fall.
Giovanna never falls.
Don't forget you have floater too.
I do, but I wasn't gonna use that. And that was that 2 actions now? Just 1.
Yeah, that the reflex save was something you had to do to break your fall. So you still have 2 actions.
Okay, then I'm going to because I jumped to a tree that's 15 feet away. How far away am I from the tentacles?
You slid down about 10 feet, I'd say. So there's about 10 feet between you and the tentacles down below.
I also moved to the other tree, right? Like I'm on the other tree's trunk or I'm on the first tree's trunk?
You are on the other tree's trunk now.
Okay, but I'm not in Bifrost Way now, right?
Hopefully not, but we'll see.
You know, I'm gonna do this anyway. I'm going to use Ego Whip. Choose one creature you can see within 30 feet of you. The target must make a will save. And then tell me what happens, and I'll tell you what happens on the will save.
So what was that power?
Ego Whip.
And what does it do?
Failed save, the creature takes 4d4 psychic damage and is filled with self-doubt, leaving it.
Okay, so it needs to make a
Able to
will
use its
save.
action on. Yeah.
It needs to make a will save.
Yes, needs to make a will save.
It saves.
Alright, successful save, it takes half as much damage.
Okay.
Which was 44.
Roll the 44 and have it.
How do I roll 4 at once?
So you're going to pick up the D4, and hold it, and then right click 3 times. But you're going to roll it into the chat box, of course.
I missed.
It was supposed to be D4, not D6.
I keep grabbing the wrong one. I'm a disaster, okay?
And that's not coming through. Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, there you go.
So 6. Whatever this is, take 6. And as you do that, Giovanna, the eyes turn to you. And the tentacles let Bifrost go.
Alright.
Bifrost, it's your turn.
Okay, so I held on to this. It would actually theoretically take me into the next round to do the full 2-round version, correct?
You started you started at last round, and now it's this round, so I would say it's been 2 rounds.
Okay, so I will release. Sorry, there's dog bark in the background. I'm going to release the spell at the at where the tentacles were coming out. It is going to need to roll a basic reflex roll.
A basic reflex save. What's your spell DC?
For a level 2 spell, it should be a 22, if I'm correct.
21, I think.
21. It's standard for all.
Yeah.
Yeah, standard for all. 21.
Yeah. So it just fails.
Okay. So on a failure, well, first of all, it's going to take it's going to deal 44 force damage to anything in that line. So if there's anything besides that creature there, they all need to resist as well. It is not a critical failure, so it's not blinded for a round.
Yes.
If there is magical darkness going on there, this torrent will attempt to counteract that. And I'm going to be in a shining state for the next minute, which means I'm glowing with light, and I deal an extra force damage to all creatures that end their turn adjacent to me. So don't stand next to me, but if the enemy's next to me, they're in trouble.
Okay, so roll your 44 damage.
So 10 straight. That's force damage, and it's trying to counteract any darkness there. So if there's any magical darkness going on, we have to try and counteract.
Yeah, as this torrent of beam blasts into this darkness of whatever it is in the tree line, it doesn't seem to have an effect.
So it's not magical darkness, and that actually makes me feel better. That's what I was most concerned about, is that we were dealing with a creature of darkness. So now we just happen to have regular darkness going on. Okay, so it gets blasted.
Either
I'm
that,
glowing.
or it's magical darkness that's too high level.
That's true too. I'm now currently shiny for the next minute, and I deal damage just by being next to me. So keep that in mind.
We've
You
got
might
a
want to move
shiny
away.
Bifrost.
Yes.
Wait, this is
very,
not
very
Pokemon.
happy. So
Yvette analyzes the situation, grabbing her sword and devising a plan for when the creature next strikes. So Yvette is going to devise a stratagem.
How many actions is that?
I think one.
Nice. I don't know that you want to be within biting distance of me.
Let me...
You just give me a moment, folks. I'm going to go and take the dog for a quick walk.
So you devise a stratagem. You assess a foe's weakness in combat and use them to formulate a plan of attack against your enemy. Choose a creature you can see and roll a d20. If you strike the chosen creature later this round, you must use the result of the roll you made to devise a stratagem for your strike's attack roll instead of rolling. You make this substitute only for the first strike you make against the creature this round, not any subsequent attacks. When you make this substitution, you can also add your intelligence modifier to the attack roll instead of your strength or dexterity modifier, provided your strike uses an agile or finesse melee weapon, an agile or finesse unarmed attack, or a ranged weapon, which must be agile or finesse if it's a melee weapon with the thrown trait, or a sap. If you're aware that the creature you choose is the subject of a lead you're pursuing, you can use this ability as a free action. It is not the subject of a lead you're pursuing. So you spend one action to use this. And roll a d20. If it is easily distracted. You're still sort of near the tentacles as they're beginning to withdraw into the tree line. So she rolls a 10. So what do you do for your next two actions? We're hanging on. We're hanging on tight. Hanging on for our lives. Well, I mean, Giovanna's hanging on for her life. Don't fall.
Yeah,
Don't
I
fall.
am.
But if you fall, you do have floater.
I do have that.
I go and try to slash one of the tentacles because that it turns out to be a 23 total. So you slash one of the tentacles with your device stratagem in place and roll your damage. That's a nice ability there. I like investigator.
It's very effective for this
no, it doesn't.
this style of play.
Three. Okay, so you add your strength to that damage. You don't have a strength modifier, do you? Nope. I do have a modifier, it's just 0. Oh, we call that no modifier? So she does 3 damage to this thing, whatever it is. And you still have 1 action. Yeah, that's not the case. There's still plenty of cases. Still plenty of cases to solve. She wants to demoralize. Roll intimidation. What are you doing to demoralize? I'm sorry if that's turn is taking too long. It's text. What do you
It's
want to
okay.
do?
It is the nature of things.
Be like that sometimes.
She can't exactly be on microphone at the moment. She turns at the weird creature eye thingy. You guys are getting your asses kicked by someone this tiny. Ha! And she rolls a 20. A dirty 20. It's a dirty, muddy 20. Someone needs to clean it up. Someone who's not Giovanna, because apparently she can't jump a tree.
Listen! I'm on the trunk!
Notice I didn't even try.
See, Bifrost didn't even try.
Nope, I did not try. My guess is I weigh a lot more than you do. I believe my mass is about 400 pounds.
That's fair. That's fair, Yvette.
So not a lot of trees want me in them.
You scream at this thing. You're getting your asses kicked by someone this tiny. Doesn't seem to be paying much attention to you. Its eyes are trained on Giovanna now.
The team, you know?
And Giovanna, it is your turn as you hear a voice now echoing all through this clearing. Get out!
I didn't believe it either, but sometimes you just gotta accept the truth.
Accept the truth. You know it to be true.
Yep.
Mm.
What are you going to do, Giovanna?
That's a good question. What will Giovanna do?
Very good question. That's why I asked it.
Oh, Giovanna can't do a lot of combat.
She can't do a whole lot when she's hanging on for her life.
Are there tentacles below me?
Yes.
I am going to climb higher in the tree.
Okay, make an athletics check. The last one went well. Maybe this one will go well.
It's not. Oh.
You seem to get a little higher, and then slide. You just slide right back down to where you were. At least you didn't critically fail.
I didn't critically fail. What do I have?
Giovanna in a tree. Watch out for that tree. Well, we can say one thing. We have confirmed that Giovanna is a tree hugger.
Yeah.
Giovanna is a tree hugger. She is hugging this tree for her life.
I'm gonna try Ego Whip again. Because I will save.
About that. Are you able to do that with no hands free?
Enchantment, mental, psionic, telepathy. Doesn't say I need hands.
Does it have a somatic component?
I don't see one.
I'll be impressed if she can actually cast this with no hands free.
Thanks. How do I? Where? I don't know. That's a good question, you know?
A very good question. I would say that is something that Rune needs to address. For now,
Because it
I'll allow
doesn't,
it.
like...
For now, I'll allow it, and we'll get on Rune later as soon as we get him to wake the bleep up.
Yeah.
Rune is just conked out on the ground, fast asleep. Even while all of this is going on, she is just fast asleep.
Yep.
You can hear her snoring too.
So that's to make a will save.
And you're shocked and impressed that she could sleep through all this.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah, I am.
She is out like a rock. So, this thing needs to make a will save. It fails.
How much?
It
Not a critical failure, right?
not a critical failure.
Because the creature sustains madness, depending on how much they failed by.
They did not fail by 5.
Dang it. Okay, that does take 4 d4 psychic damage and is filled with self-doubt, leaving it able to use its action on its next turn only to take the dodge, disengage, or hide action. And then d4. It's too many d4s. You guys hang out over there.
Mm. 12 psychic damage.
And it's filled with self-doubt.
Bifrost. The eyes are trained on Giovanna. And very intently at that.
Have we been hitting specific tentacles, or all the tentacles come from the same source, right?
She's been focusing, I think, more on where the source is. At least where she thinks the source is.
All right. So, and how far am I physically from the source?
You got to about 20 feet away from the tree line before Giovanna managed to divert its attention back to her.
Okay. So, okay, then I can take advantage of this.
You're welcome!
Yeah. There's a couple of different things I can do, but I'm going to lead out with a Scorching Ray on the target. So I have to make a spell attack roll, which I believe is my plus 11.
Okay.
Just looking for where I can grab that from on this sheet.
Over there.
Well,
no, not there. There.
Indeed.
No,
well, it's not
there.
exactly on the character sheet easily.
Not there. There.
So, am I correct?
Stuck in a tree, like a scared little Neko. Please help.
All right. So,
once again, I have
correct?
to say it.
I think it is a plus 11, right?
No cats were harmed in the making of the stream.
All right. So I will
Except
fire
that
off.
scaredy
I'm
cat
going
up
to
the tree.
I'll roll the d20 plus the plus 11.
All right.
So it should be a 19
8 plus
to
11
hit. Does that
equals 19.
Yeah. I assume that's not a critical.
That is not a critical. In fact, it's a miss.
Okay.
Dang.
So a burning ray of light sears its way into the darkness around the tree, and it doesn't illuminate anything, correct?
Nope. You can't even see any form or shape around where these eyes are. They're just eyes.
Okay. But the eyes are the source of also where the tentacles are coming from, is that correct?
From what you can tell, yes.
Excellent.
They're just these white, glowing white eyes staring at Giovanna, the scaredy cat in the tree.
Listen, I think I've done the most damage. Well, not the most damage, but I did a lot of damage to it, okay?
I would say you probably have done the most damage, Giovanna. In fact, I think that's another thing that Rune needs to take a look at, is the balancing of that class. Actually, I think he did do some balancing on that class, which we actually need to remake Giovanna.
I think so. I honestly I'll leave that up to you because I might make a new character.
Yvette lost her Discord.
Okay, so I can use anything. I could theoretically use more than one spell in a turn. Is that correct?
Theoretically, if you have enough actions.
I have 2 more actions, which I'm going to use to work a Phantom Pain on the creature. It's going to need to make a will save.
Okay.
And it will take. It's going to take damage, but its will save will tell us exactly how much damage it ends up taking. If it fails, then there's persistent damage that goes in.
Okay, so it fails. It's not rolling too well right now. It's just really focused and intently focused on Giovanna, the scaredy cat in the tree.
It be like that sometimes.
So perfect damage on that one. It takes 8 points right away of immediate damage.
Nice.
It also will take a persistent damage. So it will take a d4 of persistent damage, and it is sickened 1.
Nice. And once again, you hear the voice. Get out!
Unless you're going to help us, I don't think we can.
All of the trees are all around this clearing begin to shake violently, including the one that Giovanna is grasping
I was
on
getting my save
for for her life. Giovanna, you need to make a reflex save.
Ooh.
Giovanna, you are holding on to this tree for dear life, and you start to slip.
You know, what?
So I will say that I feel good about the fact that it's sickened, only in that it can't actually eat anything until it deals with being sickened.
Yvette
and I would assume that
screams,
includes
if only
us.
you'd effing let us. We're a bit occupied right now, Miss Forest Spirit. Yvette has gotten a bit irritated.
That's always a bit irritated. What do you mean?
A bit? And so it is Yvette's turn. Listen, you take a girl who is already passively angry and you put some adrenaline on her, she's not gonna be nice. That is true. Speaking of which, she says, actually, hang on, let me see if there's any abilities that might come in handy. Who knows, the investigator has all kinds of handy abilities. I love the investigator.
I've only read a little bit of my abilities, and I'm just like, oh god, there's so much. There's so much here.
Yeah, the Scion's a bit of a complicated class.
Yeah, it is. So sometimes I'm like, wait a minute. Am I like thinking of another thing? So like I have to go through everything again.
To be fair, we also have to rebuild the class. We also have to rebuild the character because Rune made some changes to the class, so...
Yeah.
Never mind, I spec mega hard into investigation. That is fair. Oh, yeah, wait! One more thing! Strategic strikes. I'm an idiot.
Oh my
Let me
god.
look at that. Is that a feat? I think it might be a feat. I see a strategic assessment. Nope, now I'm going into 12th level feats. Nope. So, where did that come from? A rogue sneak attack the investigator gets when devising. Class feature. Oh, there it is. Strategic strike. When you strike carefully and without forethought, and with forethought, I mean, you deal a telling blow. When making a strike that adds your intelligence modifier on your attack roll due to devising a stratagem, you deal an additional 1d6 precision damage. Okay, so you're going to devise a stratagem. Okay, she devises a stratagem. Let's do this. It's a 10 again. So she unleashes this strike with a 2d6 precision damage. Roll your damage. And it's going to be 7. She unleashes on this... she unleashes on this tentacle. And the tentacles just pull back into the tree line. And now the eyes are back on Yvette. Yvette is using some language here.
Yes, he is. Oh my gosh.
These eyes have definitely gotten on her nerves. Perhaps she woke up on the wrong side of the
Roll.
sleeping bag. She always wakes up on the wrong side of the bedroll. I am starting to get that. So with that, are you making an intimidation, Yvette? She rolls intimidation.
Oh my god.
With a 7 plus 12 equals 19. So did I, actually. With a 7 plus 12 equals 19. Yes, the GM can do math. Yvette, these eyes are intently focused on you. I can hear her typing. And she knows it. It's getting a little creepy, isn't
it? It's been creepy. There are eyes in the tree with no body.
And Giovanna, it's your turn. You notice that the eyes aren't staring at you anymore. They're staring at Yvette.
Are the trees still shaking, or like, can I climb the tree more?
The tree is still shaking.
Mm.
All the trees are still shaking. And now there is, like, gale force winds that have picked up. The branches are blowing.
You know what? I think it's time. I think it might be time for me to use float.
It might be.
And get away from the shadow tentacles.
So it takes you an action, but you are now floating.
I'm floating, and I assume the tentacles are still below me.
Down.
I would like to float.
You now come down. You're now floating 10 feet above the ground.
Well, it's better than...
It's basically like thrusters.
Yeah, I'm gonna move 25 feet away towards where not the shadow tentacles are.
Okay. She floats over 25 feet away from the tree line.
Yeah, that's still... Wait, let me make sure that still works.
Yes, it does. You use your movement speed when you're floating.
No, I'm saying for what I'm about to do. Okay, I don't want to be 25 feet away from the tree line. I want to be like... Nah, yeah, I'm gonna choose to be 25 feet away.
Okay. 25 feet away.
And now that I'm 25 feet, I'm going to be using my Disruptive Blast. And
do you still have actions for that?
It's one action.
It is. Oh, dear Rune, I think you really need to take a look at those. I think that's a little overpowered to have them be all one action.
Well, this is my weaker one.
Listen, guys, the class is a work in progress.
The class is a little broken.
A little? That's why it's a playtest. That's why it's a playtest.
Yeah.
And go for it. Use this Disruptive Blast.
It's a will saving throw.
And it fails.
Was it a critical failure?
No.
Okay, so it gets short-term madness.
Madness.
Yes. And then it's 2d4 psychic damage.
Wish rune would
And if the
come in
creature
here,
fails the
exactly
save, they
what
lose the use of a
means.
power or spell for the duration of the 2d6 I'm gonna roll. So
Okay.
that's hours. So it loses the power. It loses the use of a power spell for the next 9 hours. Oh, and my battery is running low. One moment.
Yeah,
And it takes
Rude, you have some work to do. I'm hoping that's just old versions of these spells, and he's going to do a massive balancing pass on them.
Like, to be fair, next time I have to use 2 of my actions to replenish my psychic well.
Okay, that's fair.
Because it's like, I'm down now.
Bifrost.
Okay. So it doesn't look like it's struggling at all. We've really only touched the surface. Is that correct?
Yeah, from the looks of it. And the trees are still blowing and shaking.
Is it still staring at a vet?
It's like you're in the middle of a. It's like you're in the middle of a hurricane. And yeah, the eyes are still intently focused on Yvette.
Now, did it take its 1d4 of persistent damage?
Yes.
So you rolled that separately? And it will continue taking that until it does its wisdom save.
Sure.
Okay. Fine, I need to step it up. I need to do something a lot more damaging than this.
You've probably noticed that there's no enemy on the combat tracker.
I'm going to use this entire turn to pull off an elemental annihilation wave. So I'm spending all 3 of my actions to unleash a wave of destruction in a 30-foot cone at the creature, actually all the creatures in that area, just in case the other eyes are actually other creatures that are involved in this. I have to be careful on that either way. They have to resist as a reflex save, and on a fail, they get pushed 5 feet away. On a critical fail, it's 10 feet away, and they're knocked prone.
Okay, before you do that, Bifrost, make a perception check.
Will do. That's a really good perception check.
That is a damn good one. A critical success. Bifrost, you actually have accidentally changed your initiative, but that's okay.
My apologies.
Bifrost, you realize that you've been attacking nothing this entire time.
It's an illusion.
That's what it appears to be.
I'm gonna wave off. I mean, this is gonna use up way too many of my spells. Then I'm gonna wave off and say we're being attacked by illusion here. These creatures wanted to drive us away, and they're using our minds against us. So I will instead curtail actually casting the spell, and I think we just need to move away. back to where Rune was sleeping. Actually, is sleeping.
Well.
So as you back away and back away towards back to the camp, back away back to where Rune's conked out, sleeping like a rock, cannot figure out how the hell she can sleep through this. She could probably sleep through a nuclear bomb at this point. As you back away, you suddenly begin to see glowing figures now attached to each of these eyes. Each of these sets of eyes. All surrounding you. And these figures look like nothing you've ever seen before. And then they disappear. These figures, they looked like demonic forms. And now they just vanish. And the hurricane going all around you ceases. As the trees stop shaking, the branches aren't blowing around anymore. And I see Yvette typing. She screams, "Yeah, you better run away!" And Yvette, you hear a voice. Get out! And that is where I'm going to end today's session. I want to thank everyone for coming. Yes, it was. And we learned quite a number of things. I'm going to take all of these things we've learned to Rune and have him take another pass at that class. I want to thank everyone for coming and for watching today's stream. We'll be back in another 2 weeks. And with that, goodbye.